Pipe Network presents.
I change every year. So I yes, I don't have this certain constant quotation that I live by or follow by, but I guess if there's something that I follow, I guess it's just to live knowing that I'm doing what I like and something that makes me happy and that I'm not stepping over other people. I guess because that's also what my grandmother taught me. Like, just be happy, choose what makes you happy, as long as you're not stepping on other people's dignity, etc., stuff like that. So,
Mahilig ka ba sa usapang throwback about your favorite TV shows, movies, and even your favorite life memories? I'm Jimpy and I invite you every Saturday to get your glass of wine and join me and my friends as we rewind to the past with a sip of wine only on Rewind, a Throwback podcast. Available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and all other podcast platforms. See you there!
On behalf of my guest here in the Rajiv Show, we would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Rajiv Show. Earlier on last week, I had a conversation with the legendary Mika Cruz of Adlib. Don't forget that episode. And now I have an interesting guest. Basically, I gotta confess right now that I have a crush on this musician because the moment I heard her voice and when I found out that she was a bass player, my jaws dropped. And yeah, it's a huge honor to have her as my guest right now, ladies and gentlemen. The legendary Stella Enriquez. Hi, girl. How are you doing?
hi. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm doing good, I think. How about you?
I'm doing spectacular now that I'm having a conversation. I'm like I said, I'm pinching myself because in my monitor right now I'm listening to your track and listening to your voice in two ends. So this is just surreal. And
Oh
yeah,
my god.
this is a huge honor. I gotta admit this is the biggest honor that the Rajiv Show has because having you is it's just like it's just like having Adina Menzel basically. That's how I feel right now.
Oh wow, Edie. I love Didina actually. Like I super love her.
Yeah. Before we
So
get
flattered.
into
Thank you.
yeah, before we get into everything that I wanna unbox right now, I gotta start off. Of course, usually I gotta start off by asking if you and I were classmates in high school. Who was the legendary
High
Stella?
school.
I gotta ask you. Who were you if you and
Uh,
I were classmates in high school?
n- I'm probably the music nerd.
Music nerd. That's
Like
interesting.
I'm yeah, yeah. Like you know how there are cliques like in high school, like there are certain groups of people that like clump together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm part of like a group of really different members. Like there's this music nerd, there's this
Yeah.
art nerd, and there's this really prim and proper nerd and stuff like that. So I'm part of that group, like a
Interesting.
kind of stereotype. So I'm not, yeah, I'm not sure if we'll be able to really talk because I was super shy in high school. I don't really talk much as I talk right now.
Yeah.
So I think I have to thank like Mika and the rest of Athlete that I learned how to really be talkative and
Interesting.
started being a little bit extroverted.
Interesting. So you would classify yourself as an introverted character.
Yes. In high
Interesting.
school, but lately I don't think so.
It's interesting how music nerd. I gotta ask because Amika's story was also a similar music. It was a similar parallel pattern. Although she jumped on and off from the journey, that's what I learned from her conversation. I gotta ask you, why did you choose music as a form of yours, form of solace? I'm trying to catch my words here. I'm still shaking.
Um, I guess because ever since I was young, I've been into music because see, my mom is a piano teacher. So I
Interesting.
don't think I have an escape from being a musician or something like that. My mom is a piano teacher. My grandfather and my grandmother, like my grandfather plays the piano and then my grandmother would be singing. And so I grew up with them playing the piano and singing every day. And then my mom will teach me piano for hours every day until I was like, I don't want to play the piano anymore. I want to try playing the guitar. So she
Yeah.
handed me like like a really old guitar and then it hurt my fingers and I was like, no, I want to play the piano instead. So that was me when I was younger and then I got into school and then not really forced me to join singing competitions when I was you know when you were younger and then your parents just found out that hey she can sing and then they started going off like hey you should perform in this dinner event, you should perform on his birthday, on her birthday, or whatever, Lola's birthday and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think I was able to. I could, even if I wanted to, escape from music when I was younger because everything around me is music. Like my mom publishes music piano books on National Bookstore, so I'm like, yeah.
I just wanted to
Okay.
cut into saying the philosophy thing, and I wanted to. I actually earlier on with Mika's conversation, I tried to squeeze the best out of her philosophy in life and how she connects that with saying with music. And you just gave me a quotation, and I will. I would be lovely. I'm really stuttering right now. This is a huge honor.
It's alright.
I'm stuttering because it's a huge honor that I'm just quoting you on what you just said. That is
Okay.
officially a quotation. Everything around me is music. It's just powerful. I wanted to I wanted to highlight that because in terms of reflection, that's a very powerful quotation. Everything around me is music. Nobody in my guest list, even my father as my guest, has said anything like that. But this one really blew me away. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting how you put it into context. And I gotta say, is that your philosophy, or you live by a philosophy that reminds you that hey, I gotta live for this. So, is there any philosophy that you live by, a quotation that you live by?
I'm not sure if there's such a quotation that I live by. You see, um, I change every year, so
Oh,
I yes, I don't have this certain constant quotation that I live by or follow by. But I guess if there's something that I follow, I guess it's just to live knowing that I'm doing what I like and something that makes me happy and that I'm not stepping over other people. I guess because that's also what my grandmother taught me. Like, just be happy, choose what makes you happy, as long as you're not stepping on other people's dignity, etc., stuff like that. So,
wow,
yeah.
wow, powerful. It's just powerful.
So I cannot really say that I have this certain philosophy. So there are years where I'm like, okay, I am a musician this year, and then the next year, okay, I've had enough of being a musician. I'm gonna be a gamer. okay, the next year, I've had enough of being a gamer. I'm gonna be an artist, stuff like that. So whatever makes
Interesting.
me happy, as long as no one's getting like hurt, I think it's okay.
You just everything that you said are like golden pieces, and I want to unravel this. You
I'm
mentioned
so sorry.
musician and then gamer. I'm just curious, and then an artist. So I'm just curious. I wanna I wanna I wanna unbox all the boxes there if it's okay with you. Because you mentioned it,
Okay.
and it's gold. To me, conversations like this is gold, especially having you, a legendary musician. It's just it's
Oh
just
my
gold
gosh.
bars that fall in your mouth. I hope that sounded right in my head, but I hope you got it. And
Yeah,
so
I got it.
uh, we we've already moved past musician. Oh wait, before we move past musician, I'm listening as of this moment, I'm currently listening to the single that for those who are tuning in, I'm currently listening to Affair, which is an music released by Atlee, her band, my guest's band. And I want to unravel a lot of things here because it's just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing, the composition, the lyrics. It's the first time I heard it. There's some sort of familiar. It sounds similar to one song that I composed, which is still with me. So I just want to understand the psyche, and I hope it's okay if we dissect this musical piece for a minute before we get into gaming and arts. I hope it's okay with you.
Yeah, sure thing.
So, listening to the track, you have an opening bass line, and I gotta ask, um, what got you into the bass? You mentioned you started off with the piano, and then, of course, the guitar. How did you transition to the bass? I have a thing for lady basses, just so you know. I
Oh, okay. Okay, then I'm a little bit sorry because I started bass because during our college I heard that we are supposed to like produce an album or like an EP, and
Yeah,
all I know is like playing the piano and then a little bit of the guitar, and I suck at strumming.
yeah,
Yeah, so there was this one day I asked Mika and another friend, we were a trio before.
yeah,
I asked them, hey, so we are supposed to like create an EP by the end of our year, like
yeah,
in our third year. What instrument would you like to take?
yeah,
And so Mika was like, I would love to learn how to play the drums.
yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, cool. And so I asked the other girl, what instrument would you like to take? There's like two more, the bass and the guitar. What do you want there? And then she's like, oh, I'll take the guitar because it's so cool and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'll take the bass.
Oh,
What is the bass?
interesting, interesting. Oh man,
Yeah, so and then so I started trying the bass, and then the first time, believe it or not, I started working. The first year I started working was also I met this bassist because the first bass kind of in my mind, a bass is just like just a few notes. It's
yeah,
not really that melodic because in the piano, whenever I play the bass parts in the
yeah,
piece, it's not that, you know, it's not that flowery or stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And so I started just playing piso piso.
yeah, yeah,
And then I got into working after college. I got into imagine I played piso piso my entire college life.
yeah,
And then after that, I met this bassist who was into Pastorius, was it? Yeah, like you
yeah,
know those great bassists that
yeah,
I didn't know of.
yeah,
Like it was like it blew my mind that oh my gosh, I can do so much just using the bass.
yeah,
And then he was quite arrogant. He was like, "Yeah, you can do that," and stuff like that. And I was like, Okay, I felt so bad for myself. I felt bad calling myself a bassist when all I do
Yeah.
is like ping ping pong, and then he went on with like slapping and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I got so pissed off. I tried I tried creating bass lines from the piano. Like I play the
Ah,
piano, I
interesting.
create bass lines on the piano, and then I transfer it to my bass guitar, and then my fingers are like, "Is this even possible?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, it's possible. You could play it on the piano. Why can't you play it on the bass?"
Yeah.
And so yeah, that started my struggle. And Athalie uh saw me through it all. Like I was struggling from playing Monster, struggling from playing everything up until I'm starting to playing it a little bit more naturally.
Yeah.
And so with Affair was like my first bass driven song, I could say to
Yeah.
myself. Because because as I've told you, I got so irked, I got so triggered by that guy. Well, he is a really good bassist, must say so
Yeah.
myself. And that I got super triggered. I was like, no, I'm gonna bass like him too. And so
Interesting.
I suddenly had this melody in my mind, and then I started playing it on the bass, and that was the bass line, starting bass line of Affair. So the
Interesting.
entire song started with the bass line, and then I just added a melody.
One thing I gotta confess, from one bassist to another, one thing that I've always wanted to have, especially as a musician, was I wanted to be a bassist, a vocalist, and I consistently struggled. I didn't know what to improve, so I kind of gave up on that. And but that was one thing that I wanted to confess to you. It was hard. I gotta ask you, how did you manage to consistently play the bass and sing? Was that natural, or was it also the same form of struggle? Eventually, got used to it.
There are songs that I can immediately sing while playing the bass, but there are actually songs that I find difficult to sing, like um, what's that song? Like Heim, but The Wire,
Mm,
because um the the bass is around like 6/8, I think,
yeah,
something like that. Da 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 da. But mm, the singing part is a little bit more different. So I really struggled there to the point that I gave it up. I gave up the lines, and then I told them I cannot sing this piece. You guys
yeah,
take it. So instead of them giving me parts and singing that, they I gave it back to them because I really cannot. And I felt so bad and lacking during that time that oh my
yeah,
gosh, I cannot even harmonize because of this. So I started trying and trying, and the struggle is real.
yeah. I
Again, the struggle is real.
True. I agree. I agree.
Real. Like, but I was like, no, I'm a singer. I should be able to sing while playing the bass. I mean, singing is like my forte more than the bass. Why is this stopping me from singing? So
Yeah.
yeah, I continued struggling until I got comfortable with the struggle.
I gotta give you praise, because that's interesting. You managed to fight through the struggle, and for those who are tuning in, it's really it's really a struggle playing a different melody when you're carrying a melody, especially, and then the bass line is going the other way around. I uh, it just blows my mind that how Sting makes it. You know, if you know Sting, uh, from the Police, he sings and plays bass, and of course, a bass player that I know that sings, that blew me away, that plays jazz, which is even tougher. Jazz is in a
Oh
different.
shoot. Yeah,
Esperanza
holy.
Spalding. When I heard her, she
Holy.
played the upright. She played the upright bass while singing, and she played I think she plays rhythm and blues, or she plays jazz. She plays it with the upright bass while she's
Holy.
singing. You gotta check her out. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
And
I would
and
definitely do.
I'm putting you on that pedestal because you have the ability that I could not
Wow.
I could not achieve. That's one thing that I gotta praise you for, is that you have the ability and the grit uh, to to achieve such, grades like Sting and Esmeralda Spalding. It's just, to me,
Oh my God.
I could not catch up with that. So you have my respects with
Well,
that.
it's been, thank you. It's been years of struggling.
Yeah. And to come up with the creativity itself, at least it's just, at least you can have creative lines. You can work on creative lines and sing. I'm sure eventually, once you get the hang of it, you could sing and play bass while you're sleeping. I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. If I could, that would be amazing, but
Yeah.
quite scary at the same time.
Yeah. So coming back to the track, building up the track, I felt the emotion of the track because, like I said, it's somewhat similar to the lyrics. I have a song called "Mr. Liar" that is a
Ooh.
perspective. It's an I haven't released it yet. So sadly, I could not because I'm very busy with other projects. But I'm giving you an insight to this track that I've composed. I do not know what the inspiration was, but the lyrics of it is more of a perspective of um, a boyfriend who is trying to find his philosophy in the relationship, and is he a Mr. Liar? So it's kind of identical to your song Affair, and the emotion of it blows me away because it's like a different perspective. I gotta ask, where did the song come from? What how did the conception of the lyrics, because I gotta ask you that.
mm, let's say it was half personal and half fiction.
Yeah,
Yes. So, um, it's just like how everything we write is our part of our experiences is
yeah,
like a contribution to whatever we write,
yeah,
be it like a simple, let's say there was a game and then someone kind of betrayed you,
yeah,
and then you could take that emotion, transform it into something bigger just to
yeah,
make it more interesting in a song, something like that. Although it was not a game for me.
yeah. I'm sure.
Okay,
Listening
so
to the track, like it's playing on my back, and I could, like, if it was wine, I could taste the bitterness, the anger, the frustration. That's what I taste from every time I listen to the track. It's like the one thing interesting about that is the tone of your voice from the beginning till the end. It it really shows the emotion, and that's the artistry that I painted out of the track that you've made. So it's just it's just mind boggling for me. I gotta confess, because it's just your tone, the build up of the story, and how the other instruments come in. It's just it's just one spectacular track overall. And coming from a fanboy, that means a lot to me.
Thank you. So like because you know how in breakups and in relationships it starts off, when you enter a relationship it starts off with you being so heartbroken that you don't know what to do. So
Yeah,
that's how it started. Like
yeah,
the girl, I was like, I didn't know what was happening,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden I think everything is good, and then I learned it from other people that the partner is like cheating on me and stuff
yeah,
like that while I'm being so miserable. So all of those ugly feelings will then start to like, corrupt the mind,
yeah,
then corrupt your feelings, and you get really angry and stuff like that.
yeah,
So from being hurt to getting angry to knowing your worth, like, hey, why am I even staying in this kind of relationship? You
yeah,
know, when this is so toxic for me.
yeah.
it's better for me to leave. But hey, why should it be me to like to pack up my things
Yeah,
when I'm like the one who is carrying the relationship? Why should I be the one to pack up my things? You go pack up your things
yeah,
and leave. Because I found myself like, and I know that this place is my place and you do not belong here. So go, shoo. That kind of feeling.
wow,
But that's not what happened in real life, But
yeah,
that's what would feel nice. So I imagined myself as a wife with that
uh,
kind of husband, and then
yeah,
I'm like, no, 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 no.
yeah,
No, 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 no. I built this house. Let's say I built the house. In my
yeah,
mind, I built the house. So you will be leaving, not me. This is my place.
yeah.
Kind of feeling.
Wow, this is mind-boggling. Because just now, the track said, "Just don't come home, sweetie." That's the iconic thing that resonates. That like it's like a recapitulation of the storytelling. It's it's mind blowing. I can't I can't express enough more love to you stating that track is
Thank you.
the track is something else. And somewhere down the line, if I get to produce that song that I have called Mr. Liar,
Yes,
you're the
please.
first. I I'm I'm trying to get things organized, but yeah, hopefully, let's see. I've got a lot of things. I'm a man of different fields, but yeah, I I just wanna I just wanna talk about this track. The track is just crazy. It's just mind blowing. Anyway,
Sure.
I I want to move on from fangirling because I'm getting exhausted. Really, you mentioned gaming. Let's go back into
Oh,
gaming
oh wow.
because the more I talk about it, the more I extend the zoom, and there'll be a part two of this. I don't want that. I
Okay.
I just wanted to have one episode, one guest per episode. But I wanted to uncover gaming. You were playing Genshin Impact the last time. Saying I never got to catch up, but I saw that on your live in Atelier. When did the gaming?
Yes.
What got you to gaming? I just want to keep it short and
Assassin's
brief.
Creed.
Oh my god! You just opened up Pandora's
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, so what got me into gaming was Assassin's Creed. So like I have
Wow.
I sadly I did not grow up with video games because my
Hmm.
mom was like that will ruin your studying.
Yeah.
So I got a PS4 when I
Wow.
was in my second year of work.
Yeah.
2017, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just started playing video games 2017.
Assassin's
Although
Creed.
before that, of course, everyone has played Mario, of course,
Yeah.
like yung ta-ting, yeah. So, but then what really got me into it was Assassin's Creed, and then I was so obsessed with Assassin's Creed to the
Wow.
point that I've changed my like name on at work. Like there's this um network when you're
Yeah.
at work
Yeah.
where people like chat like kind of like a Microsoft Teams, but it's just
Yeah.
offline, like
Yeah.
connected by a cable. So I've changed my name there, like different names, like Altair bin Lahad, Desmond, every
Oh,
assassin that
Desmond.
I know.
Desmond.
Yeah,
I
yes, there
you
are
opened the
no,
Pandora's
if not are.
you opened up a Pandora's box, and this one is interesting because I'm also a fan of Assassin's Creed. I used to watch the
Oh
walkthroughs. I used to watch the walkthroughs. The one that blew me away was Assassin's Creed 3. And that's one of my favorites because of the storytelling. The the history of it with American history. I love American history. I love Western
You know
history.
what? That is the one that is one of the games that I couldn't play because it was only for PlayStation 3 and I was so annoyed. Like I wanted Assassin's Creed 1. Was it?
Three. I'm a fan of three. Three was much more
I'm
different. I
Yeah,
gotta
I
confess
want, but I
because
want one. I want everything, but I don't have everything. Like I only have like Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Black
Unity,
Flag, Unity, Revelations, Unity. I have Unity. I love Unity. I
uh,
also have Syndicate, the
Valhalla,
latest ones, Odyssey, Valhalla. Yes, I have that. I haven't finished it because of my work. Rawr. Origins.
Origins. Yeah,
So yes, I am quite obsessed with Assassin's Creed. I even have the one that when you put it in, it's like they're all moving sideways.
yeah.
What was that? Chronicles. Yeah, I
Chronicles.
have Chronicles in it.
I'm
I
waiting
didn't
for
know. I don't
Indian
know if
mythology because they have a lot of material that they can go through in Indian mythology. That's one thing.
yeah,
Uh,
and
yeah,
lately I saw like they have this. I think it's in Japan, feudal Japan. I don't know.
I
I
heard.
just saw it a while ago. I
I
just
saw
saw
your
it a while ago,
post
and
also.
yeah, and I was going crazy. I was literally going crazy. I was like, oh my gosh! But I'm still playing Genshin Impact. But I'm so sure that if they release that, I would be a AFK all the time in Genshin Impact, and all my characters will be crying for me, like, "Hey, where are you?" But I'm like, but Assassin's Creed is there, so I'm sorry. Now I'm fangirly. See, I'm so sorry.
Interesting. Zoom just reminded me. So just reminded me that it's going to be times up in few more minutes. So uh, I love to extend this conversation and hopefully have you back on my episode because I don't know, you just blew my mind. From
I'm so
this
sorry.
from the storytelling. I'm like the I'm just on a roller coaster and I'm enjoying the ride. And when you went to Assassin's Creed, it's just crazy. The
I love Assassin's
one
Creed.
thing that I gotta confess because I love Assassin's Creed was because I only watched the entire walkthrough of Assassin's Creed 3 is the storytelling and how connected it was to the Boston Tea Party, the independence of America, and then the there's a storyline that they really messed with my head for a while was when what if George Washington, I think it was a story with the apples corrupting something, the golden apple,
Everything.
yeah, was corrupting everything.
Assassin's Assassin's Creed is like making you think that they are there,
Yeah. The
but
one
we
thing,
just cannot like see them in history because they're hidden in the dark.
yeah,
Stuff like that.
the one thing that blew my mind was this DSL, DLS, or I don't know what DSL, or I'm not sure what I pronounce, but there was a particular separate part of Assassin's Creed 3 was the what if situation. If what if George Washington turned America into a monarchy, and that just blew my mind because George Washington was, you
They
know,
are.
uh, before history and all, George Washington was a humble man, and he was born humble, and the story. But there was a possibility that what if he was corrupted by some sort of entity and changed America? America, till this day would have been a monarchy. That would have been interesting. That would have been an interesting thing close to reality. It's just blew my mind. So yeah, it's just interesting. This 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 turned out to be interesting. I was stuttering in the first half of this conversation. Now we're both fangirling over Assassin's Creed. This just blew my mind. This conversation, one of my favorites. I'm gonna put this on my top 15 because I have a lot of conversations, and this turns out to be one in the top 15 category. I'm not putting a number, but it's in the top 15 of uh my top 15. So yeah, it's a huge honor. Um, I gotta
Same here.
I gotta add I gotta move on from gaming because we might extend and create another series of that. I want to move on to
I'm so
arts.
sorry.
Well, let's make it quick. Arts. When
Okay.
what got you into arts as well? So that is
Um, so I'm an otaku.
I don't know what that is.
So I'm an anime nerd too.
Interesting.
So I really love anime ever since I was younger. It started with Inuyasha, and
Yeah.
up until now I'm still watching anime, to the point that Janine and I are actually attending like Anicons. It's just started this year though.
Interesting.
Started Anicons, and yeah. So I have a passion for anime, and then I was like, I wanted to draw. So I started drawing anime, stuff like that. Continued on
Yeah.
until high school, I guess, fourth year high school, third year high school, where I was almost determined to like take music, when my mom introduced me to a professor, an arts professor.
Yeah.
And then the arts professor came to my place, and then he's like, okay, we are going to be learning more about art. And I was like, what? And so he
Interesting.
started tutoring me about painting and stuff like that. So I started painting.
Interesting.
And then I got confused. I was like, oh shoot, will I take fine arts or music production?
Oh man, you live a parallel life to me now. Look. Yeah.
I was like, should I take fine arts? No. No, I don't know. So my entire fourth year, I was deciding, should I take fine arts or music production? And
Yeah.
then I got the brochure from the Nield, and then I saw their music studio, and it was colored black and red. And I'm like, okay, this is it. This is a sign. I'm taking music production.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
that was the end of my fine arts era.
Interesting. I want to share a little bit about me. Um, I'm gonna make this as quick as possible because the timer is carrying me now. I grew up as an artist.
Okay.
I inherited this from my grandmother, who was my dad's mother, and she was an arts and crafts teacher in India. So that's how
Ooh.
I got into the arts and crafts, and I got into comics, and I'm more of the western comics. That's why one thing I think that's one thing we cannot resonate, because you're on the different path on anime. I'm more of DC.
I'm
I'm
so
more of
sorry.
Batman. So but at least in the artist way, at least, yeah, we share the same passion for it. Not one thing I'm sure you agree with me as a guest is that um, that art is still a part of life, whether or not it's an era or thing. It's still a part of life. And
Yes.
yeah, one thing about me is I had a longest relationship that I had, aside from my girlfriend, of course, was of course my arts,
Mhm.
because there were many times that I broke up with arts and saying I give up, but I keep coming back. That's one thing I think I've mentioned countless times in my storytelling in my season 2 or season 3. It was all about that relationship that I had with my consistent relationship with arts, and I pursued animation. Didn't have I didn't carry much. That didn't carry much through until my college. I had to give up arts. I was supposed to choose between arts also and music, but I was too late for the
Oh.
UP program. So what I had to do was I had to choose music. So then life moved on until now. I revived my artist life, but I took it at a different level. I took it into the abstract concept. So that's a that's the quickest storytelling that I've ever said in my life. Now looking at the timer, so yeah, that's saying. So that's the story of my life. And if you want to
That's
know more, you can
insane.
message me, and I'll DM you my portfolio and everything. So yeah, that's my life as an artist, and it's interesting. We managed to unbox a lot of creative things here: music,
Quite a lot.
gaming, yeah. And saying I want to request, I hope yeah, even my listeners now heard this, that I'm asking if I could have you back on my show and we could have a series, or if you want we can make a series. Have I would love to have you
No.
back. It'd be a huge honor. I hope you would reconsider, because there's so many things that we can talk about.
I'd be glad.
Awesome, awesome. Before we before we move on, I'm sure my listeners would love to connect with you via social media. How would they find you on social media?
Okay, so I have my Instagram. You can contact me. Contact, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh, Stella Enriquez. I think it's at Stella Enriquez. Hold on, let me double check. Oh my gosh, I don't even know my own. Yeah, I think it's Stella Enriquez. And then same our social medias at Athlete Official. It's ATHALIE official. I think it's Athlete Official everywhere, if I
yeah.
remember correctly. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. I have one less than 1 minute left. I want to say thank you so much. It's a huge honor having you on my show. I'm sorry I have to rush this.
Thank you too.
Yeah, and it's a huge
It's
honor.
alright.
Yeah. Thank you for being my guest, and
Thank
for
you so
those,
much.
yeah, and for those who are listening, I hope you enjoyed this. There will be a part two, part three. Don't worry, guys. I want to say,
Thank you.
yeah, I want to say cheers, folks, and I will see you in the next episode.